Greetings and salutations, Pokemon fans. We are back with more SPL coverage today. More from Week 4. We have Prinz against Finchinator. Finchinator started the season in Gen 8 and got moved to Black and White in Week 3, so this is second game of Black and White game of the season. As for Prinz, he's played Gen 3 ADV for the first 3 weeks and then got moved into Black and White. So yeah, both players have a kind of a bad record right now. Prince is 0 and 3, Finch is 1 and 2, so both really would like a win to gain some more momentum and turn their season around. And in order to do so, Finch went from a pretty offensive Sun team. We have double Psychic plus Spikes plus Terrakion. That's a pretty strong team. As for Prince, he went with this is also quite an offensive build. More Volt turn-ish with Terrakion Exca. Usually these are like Choice Band Terrakion, SD Exca, Scarf Exca, and regular Landorus, but you can play around with the sets. You can do Scarf Lando, for example, which is probably decent, and then have like Rock Celebi. As for Finch, what sets do we expect? I don't know about the Terrak. It could be anything. Could be Band, could be Scarf is unlikely, I think. There's team plays too fast for Scarf Terrak, which is kind of weird to say, but it's like you close combat into a Landorus and then you given out all of your momentum, and your team is kind of weak to the enemy Landorus, so that's a bit harsh. I expect this to be Scarf Latios, like for Barakazan, whatever Terrakion said, could be SD or close combat. Special defensive Lando, Ferro, I mean, it spikes, right? As for the moves, the other moves, I would expect something like Gyro Ball, Power Whip, Leech Seed, something like that. And whatever Tyranitar set doesn't mean it doesn't really super matter. Could be cost up, could be chop all. That's about it. But it's probably chop all on this. Like that's what I would expect. Prince has these are pretty known team. It's Banterak, Scarflando probably, SDX, then special defensive Celebi, physically defensive Rotom Wash, Tyranitar probably Chopple. That's it. Right, so how do these two players win? Prince wins by clicking close combat with Terrakion. Finchinator also kind of does that, but his Terrakion is a bit, let's say, worse at it because there's both Lando and Celebi. And Celebi kind of tanks close combat not super well, but it takes around 40%, so it's not that easy for Terrakion to muscle pass both Lando and Celebi. Whereas Prince Celebi only has Landorus to worry about. As for Finch, I think you get spikes up and then just play offensive with Zam Terrak. If your Zam can get a kill on either of these 5 mons and then damage Tyranitar, you are in a pretty decent spot to win with your own Lando plus Rak plus Latios. That's what I would expect. Prince has the more straightforward game plan. Obviously, he has to get Terrakion in and click one move. Also get rocks up. But that's pretty easy. Celebi gets rocks up against at least, well, 2 of these mons for free, basically. And you can greed it on a couple more, but that's a bit tougher. And once rocks are up, Terrakion just smashes here. Like it's going to look awful for Finch. But hey, Terrakion misses 1, 2, You have decent revenge killing, and you still have switches, and you have your own Terrakion, so you can also go for a speed tie if it gets that desperate, though that's probably not happening. Right, so what do we lead with? If you're Finch, you lead Ferrothorn, right? And if you're Prince, you lead Rotom Wash. And you Volt Switch out. If the Ferrothorn stays in, you can go Celebi and get Rocks up, which are worth it. Like, you give Ferrothorn 3 spikes. That's kind of annoying. Um, actually, do you just lead Celebi? Hmm. I think that's better. Uh, yeah, there's no way you lead Lando here if you're Finchinator, right? There's a Rotten Wash on this side, and uh, it's a bit rough. No, I think you lead Ferro here if you're Finch, and probably Prince. I mean, you lead Celebi and just get rocks up. Is there a world where Prince leads Tyranitar? If it's fire move, maybe, but that I expect Ferro to lead here. Like, it's the only one that makes sense to me. But there's a world where Finch leads like Landorus, which is not the worst. If you if you are not specially defensive, you can U-turn out of both Rotom and Celebi, and the other 8 intimidate. So maybe Lando is a better lead. I will lead Lando here, yeah. And I will still lead Celebi if I was Prince. That's it. Let's see if I got it right. Ferro, okay, that was my first call. Rotten Wash, yep. You have to Vault Switch, because if you Wisp into Alamberry, you lose Rotom and then you lose the game. Okay, T-Wave. It's not Lamberry. This T-Wave was very aggressive. Was it to try and catch a Terrakion? Okay, the problem with T-Wave on this Celebi here now is that it will get rocks up and then button pass to the Terrakion. However, you can go Landorus, which kind of prevents it in the sense that both you scare away the Celebi, and even if it goes for an outplay and say button pass as you get rocks up, it would button pass the -1, so it cannot really do that. And yeah, Rotom is the better play. Rotom is great here because now you know that the Ferrothorn is not Lamberry, so you can click Wisp. Technically, you don't want to Wisp into Zam and or Latios, but Latios is okay. All right, this is the hard part of the game. Orlando, it's the safe play. Let's see. It's Rocks Lando, so it's max health. Yeah, like 248 HP EVs. Right, that still did a lot of damage. Oh, mega aggressive double cross combat. Will he get punished? Nope, U-turn on the rack. Okay, the problem for Finch here is that next time Terrakion comes in, it will kill one. Like, Landorus dies to rocks plus close combat, everything else dies except Latios can tank one. It does what, like around 70 something? Probably a bit like 65-ish. So I guess there's that, but this is already kind of dangerous for Finch. Right, but Zam is in, you have rocks plus spikes. So what do you do as Prince? Probably you go Celebi. Celebi, even if it dies to Signal Beam, then you can go Titar and maybe get rid of Zam. It's not guaranteed, but it's a nice option. Any other play I think is bad because everything else just like everything dies, right? So you kind of have to sacrifice something, and Celebi is fine to sack. Like it's kind of useless this game. It's nice as a Latios stopgap, but then it gets streaked, and then it's it's not even that good. So I think you go Celebi here. Really do it, Lando? What? What? Why? Oh no! Oh no! No, Prince, don't do this to me, man. What? Landos? Why? Even if the Zam just clicks Psychic move, Lando will take a million damage. Even if it tries to predict and click a Focus Blast, Landorus will still take too much damage unless you're specially defensive. On this build, you do not ever run specially defensive Landorus. So you will take 40% damage plus rocks. Is that really what you want? Lando is kind of nice this game, but you need it to U-turn on the Ferro, and you also need it for Terrakion. Now you just kind of lose to Terrak. Oh man, this is a disaster. Right. Um, Crunch, I think. And Willy Crunch, very nice. Fox of the Seat. And Pursuit comes out that did 77. This is a very gifted Zam. Wow. And try to dodge, nope, never happened. Oh man, this game is done. You just lose to Zam. Finch probably just clicks smooth. Okay, no, he wants to save it, that's fair. A bit of a flex just because your opponent already can floss, so you can do this. Why not U-turn? Why hard? Oh, is this specially defensive? I guess. So it will be slower than Rotmosh. I guess that's the rationale behind this choice. But I mean, this game is done. Like, there's not much to discuss. Like, uh, okay, dodge Draco, nice. Can Celebi do anything? No, there's a Ferrothorn on this side, and it's Recover Latios too. Uh, well, baiting Draco then lets you button pass to Eska and spin, which would be pretty nice, except it's Fire move Latios, so this is not never happening. Right, your only out is to not get crit while you psychic specially defense drop and then force out the Latios and button pass on the exact turn, but you still lose, I think, actually. No, this game is done. Like, there's a crit and psychic. Latios just wins from here. It doesn't, like, hard win because there's an Excalibur, which survives on it, even with spikes down, I believe. But then what? Like you spin, right? And then okay. We may get a kill here. You just click Iron Head probably. Or Earthquake, it doesn't super matter. Yep. There we go. And in comes Terrakion. And everything dies in one hit. So you go to your Terrak. Right, then you go Rotom. Rotom might leave one, but then you have Exca versus the World, which includes an Intimidate that can be reapplied twice. So it's Exca. It's a I never win Exca situation. Okay, Wisp. Uh, wasn't Pump better? It doesn't super matter, but I guess if you Wisp again, it's nice. Nope. Mm, Wall switch, click Power Whip. Again, none of this is matters at all. This game is done. Has been done for a while. Like, you sacrifice Ferro to Exca, then go Terrakion and click close combat, and Prince just loses. Or sacrifice Lando, yeah, sure. And in comes the bull, and the bull is going to do bull things, which include annihilating them all. Man, does Rotom even leave? Oh, that did Little damage. Oh, it is Scarfrack, actually. Never mind, I was completely wrong. It just dawned to me that this is not Scarflatio, so it's Scarf Terrakion, it seems. Okay, so there's not much to analyze here, so this will be a short video. But that hard land on the Zam, no, please don't do it ever again. That was so bad to watch. It's like he was in a decent spot too, and then he wasn't anymore, and then he lost like instantly. That's very bad, and I don't understand why. Like it's bad with anything that Zam clicks. If he clicks Psychic, you almost die. If he clicks Focus Blast, you take half of your health from Rocks plus Focus Blast. If you click Ice, you die. The only move that you can switch into somewhat is Signal Beam, but why would he click Signal Beam like that? I don't understand. This was such a nice double close combat too. Put yourself in a decent spot. And then the train wreck happens. And I can do anything but to watch and recoil at the horror that is unfolding in front of my eyes. This was Scarflandorus, which was insanely strong here. Although with the discovery of Scarf Terrakion, I mean it's still fine. Maybe you don't want to toss Celebi, right? But then I don't know, man. You still go Celebi, and the Terrak. You have Lando, it's fine. It doesn't do that much damage to Scarflando, even with like Stone Edge. And you can play around it a bit with Excadrill too, so that's totally fine. Better than whatever happened here. And Rotom also tanks one hit, you have T-Tar, so you can maybe go Rotom and All Switch or whatever, right? That's just so much better than whatever happened here. And after that happened, it was just over. There's no coming back from this with this matchup. Yeah, that's it. That's the game. Whatever. Whatever. Yeah, yeah. See you next time.